Hey, what's going on, Xbox gamers and multi-console gamers alike? You're now rocking with your boy KOR Str8Murda and listening to Str8Murda Podshots. Today I was in a party chatting with some podcast friends of mine, Anchorman V, Microbox of X, and a few others. And we spoke about this new PC title called Hatred that has, started up, I guess you could say, a small controversy over the last day or two. And I'm going to get into that subject and my thoughts on it. But before that, here is some awesome news. So Tick Podcast has been doing its due diligence to continue to bring awesome content to our new subscribers as well as our old subscribers. And I thank you guys for supporting us, and I thank you guys for subscribing to us. So for you, so far we have booked Team Dakota, who is the creators of the Xbox and PC exclusive Project Spark. Project Spark is a creation game, I guess you could say similar to Minecraft, but on a whole nother level. It's a little bit more complicated, but in this game you can literally create your own game and build your own worlds, and in that it is awesome. That is awesome in itself, and I can't wait to have these guys on. I won't have a specific date for you guys. I don't want to give out any dates, but I can tell you that the interview will be happening soon. And when we have a date to release the interview, you guys will be the first to know. And I'm very excited. So if you have any questions to Team Dakota, if you have any questions about Project Spark, if you are one of the guys out there who love the game and love to create games, leave a comment in our comment section or leave us a direct message on Twitter at TIC_podcast. That's TIC_podcast. And I'll make sure to get those and go ahead and try to implement them in an interview when we talk to Team Dakota in the future of Project Spark. But that's not all. No. There's more. We also booked Mr. Ken Lobb. For those of you who don't know who Ken Lobb is, he is a part, or shall I say he was a part of the original Rare Team. The people that brought you Killer Instinct, the people that brought you Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day. And he will be on our show in January. So when you come back in the new year of 2015, Tick Podcast is coming back with a bang. So leave any questions you have for Ken Lobb. We'll talk about Killer Instinct Season 2. We'll talk about Phantom Dust and any future IPs that may be coming to the console. Hopefully he can give us some snippets or tidbits on what we can expect. Finally, we are in talks right now with the Rainbow Six Siege developers. Now, this is not a confirmation, so I don't want you to get your hopes up, but we are trying to get them on the show, and as soon as we get them on the show, you guys will be the first to know. We've been talking to them diligently, and hopefully soon you guys will know whether or not you can start hitting us up for questions to talk about Rainbow Six and how awesome it would be to get those guys on the show. So we're working hard, guys. Don't worry. We're bringing content. We're bringing the things you want to hear. And hopefully Tick Podcast will continue to be the voice of the fans, for the fans, by the fans. And everyone will start to realize this is the place to come to hear about great things happening on Xbox One. Also, and finally, with the good news, of course, Unified is giving away a $40 Xbox One credit for a free copy of Project Spark in commemoration of having Team Dakota on our show. The winner will be announced at the end of the show. So if you're a subscriber and you are into creating games, please contact us via direct message or leave a comment in the comment section. This is for subscribers only, and we will check. Leave a comment in the comment section that you're interested in being a part of the raffle for the reward for Project Spark. And once we put the show out with Team Dakota, listen, and at the end of the show you will find out who the winner is of a free copy of Project Spark, where you can create a new game of your liking or your choosing. Now, the controversy. Dun dun dun. Hatred. This game, obviously, there's a lot to talk about with this game. I don't want to get too deep into it because clearly it will stir up a lot of things in people. I think that if you've seen the game, there's a guy that walks around shooting innocent people as they flee and they try to escape. And I think that the developers went for shock value. I think they went with the gore value. But I don't like that. I don't know what they're trying to convey in the game. I have no idea what the story is behind the game. But first impressions are always important. And as of right now, I did not get a good impression of the game. Now, this game is a PC title, and I doubt a game like this would ever come to consoles. I don't see a jokey mood in it like Postal. Yes, Postal has senseless killing in it, but it also had this weird, funny, type of vibe to it where it was almost comedic to a certain extent. So you really didn't take it that serious. But this game has a serious tone to it. And, the thing about the game and the thing about movies is what people always try to compare. They always say that, well, you have violence in movies. You have things like Natural Born Killers. You have things like The Matrix. You have things like Conan or any movie where people are just being slaughtered. In those movies, they're fantasy. We know that these things aren't really happening. And yes, they can give off the perception to some nutcases that, hey, this is something that you possibly could do. If you think you can jump across a building like Neo does in The Matrix, by all means, please attempt it. Go ahead. But the bottom line is that this is fantasy. It's not realistic. And to people that understand that, they know the difference. When it comes to video games are interactive. There are things that are done in games where you pull the trigger, you make decisions, and you make choices. I don't compare this game to games like Call of Duty. I don't compare this game to games like Gears of War. Because of the simple fact that when you walk down that hallway and you see an enemy, that enemy fires at you first. And if you don't fire back, you're dead. And your game starts over. In this game, people are running from you. People are scared of you. They're trying to survive. And you take pleasure in murdering innocent people. And I don't get why anyone would make a game like that. There's a line of ethics, I think, that you don't cross. And yes, I don't want to hinder someone's freedom of speech or freedom of creation. You never want to mess with anyone's constitutional rights. But, over the last decade, we've had a lot of school shootings. We've had a lot of innocent people murdered. And it's been by teens. For whatever reason, they've been bullied. For whatever reason, they've had mental breakdowns and they've gone out and murdered innocent people. And this type of game would be the type of game that when the next mass shooting happens, God forbid, but when the next mass shooting happens, this will be the game that Congress looks at. This will be the game that parents look at. And they will say, this game and these type of games are what trigger these in our children, which gives them even more leverage to try to control the content that we receive. It's our choice of what we want to see and what we want to watch and what we want to play. However, this type of game being sold to a consumer, I can't agree with. I can't. At this point in time, I think it's just senseless. I don't understand what the devs are trying to convey in this game at the moment. And I can't back it. I just can't back it. You have games like Call of Duty with the airport scene, something that Anchorman and Micro and all of us talked about. And you have to prove yourself to the guys that you with as you shoot up an airport full of innocent people. Now you have a choice. You can fire or you could just walk through as these guys shoot. And in the end, obviously, they find out that you're undercover anyway and you wind up getting killed. And that's a spoiler. I probably should have said spoiler first, but it's such an old game. Who cares? But in this game, it's not like that at all. You're just murdering for the fun of it, it seems. And most people who are on PC are adults. I'm not saying that children don't play it, but most people are adults. But those people may have a screw loose. Those people may feel like this might be the game to push them over the edge. This might be the game that make them feel like, you know what? I think I want to do this for real. And yes, that's an extreme thought. That might be even going a little too far, but who's to say that it's not true? I'm not saying that video games provoke violence in people. These people are probably already mentally ill. But sometimes you just need a push. Sometimes you just need something to make you feel like, man, this would be awesome if I did this. And I don't want that. I really don't. I don't want to see that. And I don't want Congress controlling the content that I love and I like to play. So listen, first impressions are important. It's just like with the Xbox One. A lot of people didn't like the first impression of Xbox, and it stuck with them for a very long time. This is how I feel about this game. It's sticking with me for a very long time because I don't like the first impression that I saw. Now, there's somewhere down the line, they could prove that there's a story behind this. There's a reason behind this. Just like Microsoft has changed some policies, and the Xbox today is not the Xbox that it was when it was announced or what it was at launch. It's a completely different console, an amazing console, the most diverse console and versatile console ever created. But at the same time, it grows on you and you realize the great things about the console. And I'm hoping at some point the devs come forward and say, hey, yeah, there is a purpose behind this. This is the reason why we're making this game. But as of right now, I don't see that. And when you're selling a product to consumers that people could absorb this type of information, there's just something that shouldn't be touched. There's just something that shouldn't be, some things that should be left alone. And I think that's one of those games. I could be wrong. And I'm putting that out there. I could be wrong. But once again, first impressions are important, and that's the impression that I got of this game, and it's something that I don't like and I won't support. So if you guys agree with me or disagree with me, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this game, Hatred. If you have comments for our up-and-coming interviews, please leave comments as well. And I promise to get to all of you guys and let you know exactly what I like, what I don't like, what I agree with, what I don't agree with, and what questions I would try to grab from you to ask the up-and-coming developers that's going to be on Tick Podcast, for the fans, by the fans, the voice of the fans. I'm out of here, guys. Peace. Killing spree.